I'm just going to put this out there. Your daughter's first romance. How does that make you feel, Joe?
I'll kill him.
And
Pete gave me shotgun training.
Oi.
Yeah, already.
Okay, great segment.
Well, can you be brave and embrace the fact that Amelia and Bodhi are destined to have dating lives? And we have fantastic primary school teachers here, Bianca and Kritz Sciessere. They've established the Big Sister experience specifically to inspire young women to live empowered lives and create respectful relationships. Please welcome them to Studio 10. It's nice to see you. You say girls are getting into romantic relationships earlier and that they need to come from a position of self-love and self-respect and confidence, but how do you have confidence at such a young age? You don't know who you are, you've got hormones running through your system, you're trying to figure out what's what in the world.
Yeah, definitely. So it can be, you know, really tricky, especially from such a young age. But we really, when we work with the girls, we really encourage them to go out and try new things, discover what it is that they like, that they don't like as well is really important. You know, starting to have that sense of identity, who they are, really allows them to gain the confidence to then, you know, have that self-confidence and be able to stand up and be accepting a little bit more so of who they are.
What age are you noticing that girls are taking an interest in boys?
When we first started the program, we actually put together a program for year 11 and 12 girls, but the more we were working with schools and we were talking to schools, we're now working with girls as young as grade 3 because it's almost a preventative thing that we're teaching. So, yeah.
And we know, obviously, this is just one extreme end of the spectrum, but we know that kids are getting exposed to porn on phones very, very early, like 10 or 11 often.
The statistics with that are just absolutely frightening. And we need to open the conversation that porn is not real life. You know, as adults, we can differentiate between fantasy and reality. But these kids who are watching porn on their phones, that is the initial exposure of...
Becomes their reality.
It becomes their
Do you
reality.
think access to that is what's making kids want to have or experiment with relationships or think I should be going out with someone or have a boyfriend or girlfriend earlier? Do you
I think that's certainly a part of it.
Definitely. And it's so much easier now to access this. You know, a lot of children have devices from a younger age. There's multiple devices per household. And, you know, as parents, I'm sure it's difficult to always be monitoring exactly what they're doing, what they're on. So, yeah, it's more accessible and they're exposed to it at that age.
What I want more than anything for my daughter is that she doesn't go through a hideous relationship, which I did at one stage due to massively low self-esteem. So if I can prevent that, that'll make me extremely happy. What can I do right now to make sure my 11-year-old self-esteem stays high?
Well, we always talk about, you know, people say a relationship's 50-50, but we actually nurture the girls to believe that a relationship's 100-100. And what that means is turning up as your complete self, fulfilled, happy, with a really solid social circle. And when this happens, when you turn up to a relationship happy and content, you're not seeking validation. You're not needing anything. So you can be yourself and you only tolerate someone who will add value. And this is a way that, you know, women stay in relationships because they're scared to be on their own. They don't know how to be alone, how to make themselves happy. So nurturing your 11-year-old with a really strong sense of identity is the best thing that you can do.
We're often speaking on the panel about nude selfies and this strange thing with kids sending sex to each other. What advice do you give to girls who might feel they're under pressure to send a naked photo of themselves to a boy?
Yeah, so the statistics in Australia are shocking. It was, you know, 1 in 3 girls under the age of 18 have sent a nude or explicit photo. And a lot of times when we go into schools where, you know, their wellbeing teachers are saying this is an issue, so we really just get back to the root of the problem, and we've found that that is their self-love, their self-respect. You know, we tell them that if you respect yourself and you know who you are in a person, then if you don't want to send that photo and that person doesn't approve of that, that's not the best person for you to be surrounding yourself with. So really having that...
You won't feel like you have to do it or you won't be liked.
And having that confidence to say no.
What about, like, obviously we all want to raise our kids to have that self-confidence or whatever, but inevitably, like Ange said, we all make stupid decisions and we all end up in bad relationships. What do you do if your daughter is in a relationship with someone who you know is toxic? Because we all know that if you say, that guy's no good for
Yeah.
you. He'll only break your heart.
Do the
He's bad news.
You cling on.
She's going to ride off on the back of his motorcycle.
Yeah.
The number one thing, we work with parents and families as well. That's a huge part of the work that we do because we really believe in modelling. And something that you can do is just be authentic and vulnerable. And we never come into our workshop saying, don't do this or you must leave this situation. It's like, hey, I was in this relationship once and this is what I tolerated and this is how it hurt me and this is how I had to pick up the pieces. So as a parent, share your stories of heartbreak. Share the stories.
I don't know if she's got that much time.
What started you guys on this path? Was it your own experiences?
Yeah, so it was a little bit of both. Bianca and I both come from a teaching background, so we've got 14 years between us. So as seeing what was happening inside the classroom, not only with the students, but their families as well, parents not knowing how to support these changes, as well as just our own personal experiences and backgrounds, really, you know, we started to look at how we can make more of a difference, you know, in these young girls' lives.
Well, if you want to check out more about Bianca and Kritz and their fantastic group, it's called the Sister Experience. You can head to the Big Sister Experience, exp.com. Bianca and Kritz, thank you so much for joining us today. It's so important that we have these conversations with our girls.
Absolutely.